Greetings. This is Della Welch. I want to tell you about the wonderful experience I had this morning. I was on Facebook and I saw a scene from the Oscars. I saw that composer and director Chris Bowers spoke of the power and importance of music education during his Oscar acceptance speech for The Last Repair Shop, which was given at the Oscars. It said the documentary, which won the Academy Award Best Documentary Short Film, highlights the incredible story of an LA workshop that brought about broken instruments and brought them back, providing the musical equipment for students to learn music and to learn it free. They also have a wonderful statement on there which says music education isn't just about creating incredible musicians, it's about creating incredible humans. And I was so touched by this that it reminded me of my own experience teaching 6 of my children music. And I first wanted to teach them the violin because there was the Suzuki method out where they teach the mother and the mother would teach the child. Well, there's somewhat of a hardship in learning violin. You have to keep getting new violins as they get older. You have to start out with an 8th or 10th violin and then go to a quarter and then go to a half and then go to a 3/4 instrument and then do a full violin. So it's not for the faint-hearted. When I was a young girl, I was a trumpeter and I wanted to take trumpet lessons, and it was going to cost $2 a lesson per week. And we didn't have that money, and it was a great hardship on my heart. And I said to my husband when we got married, if we ever have children, I want to make sure that they have money for instruments and money for lessons. So we both agreed that would happen. And as my children got older, I put my son on the violin, and he was in a youth orchestra, and he was having trouble keeping up. He was about 12 years old, and he said, "Mom, I just can't keep up with those women violin, the young girl violinists. They just practice all the time." And then it dawned on me that God never made enough violas, so I put him on the viola, which is sort of the size between a violin and a cello. And here he essentially had no competition, and he really took off. And he was also studying the piano. And then he came to me when he was about 15, and he said, "Mom, I'm practicing the piano an hour, and I'm practicing my viola. I want to give up one of my instruments. I want to give up the viola." And he brought his sister along to be the advocate, to argue in favor of him giving up the viola. And of course, I'd invested a lot in the viola, and I didn't want him to give it up. So even though his sister argued well and he argued well, I said, "No, we can't give it up." And then he got to liking the viola more, and he went to a major conservatory back east and did a degree in viola performance, and now he's a music director at a community college, and he plays and teaches all the instruments. So the viola really paid off. And in terms of my other children, one of them learned the cello, and he got a degree in cello performance, and he remembered that his mother was a lawyer and he wanted to be a lawyer, and I would listen to law tapes, and so he would listen to law tapes as well. He said, "Mom, I think I heard this before." And I said, "Oh yes, you did. I was pregnant with you and you heard everything. You heard all the law tapes." And his sister also heard the law tapes, and she did a violin performance degree, but then she was seeing how much fun I had as a lawyer, so she went on to law school after her violin degree, and she became an attorney and later became a judge. So this listening to tapes and recordings like I did on Suzuki and in my law training really paid off. Now my son that plays the viola is also on Pandora, and he gets millions of hits, and so I'm very proud of that. His older sister went to Tanglewood, which is a famous music camp back east, and she was able to meet Esau Perlman, Leonard Bernstein, and she studied with other musicians. So I found that it's like they said, they not only became incredible musicians, but they also became incredible scholars. They did well in math and all of the subjects, and the research shows those who know music, they have built-in series of best friends, and they go on to become great scholars. So I'm very, very proud. I had one daughter start on the violin, and she'd play a lot of great songs on the violin, such as The Devil Went Down to Georgia, but she really liked singing, and she went to school back east, and she studied singing, and she just has a beautiful voice and loves to sing. I had another son that learned cello, and I love to hear him play the song Pretty Women. It's very good. And so I had 4 children that were sons and 2 that were daughters, and they all benefited from music. So when I saw this Facebook today, I was just so happy, and I thought of the wonderful time that my children had learning music. We were lucky because I had the money of a lawyer. My husband was an engineer, so we were able to pay lessons. But I was so happy to see in the Facebook that it was free, and so it's a lifetime wonderful skill that the children have, and it's free. So hope I've inspired some of you to teach music to your children. There's a lot of information on Facebook of how to teach children violin, how to teach them piano. I even have a daughter-in-law that's trying to teach a colleague how to play piano. And my grandpa, he was teaching a colleague to play piano. So I guess that we can expand that even more. But I hope this has been encouraging to you.